Alright guys, how's it going? Right, so it's been a little while since my last Elite video. As you can see, I have bought a Vulture, the same as everybody else did, I think. Let's head into outfitting like I normally do when I get myself a new ship. Now, I don't think I can afford these alloys yet, because they don't have them here anyway. Right, now, I've actually played about this, well, I played around with this quite a lot, because I couldn't decide if I wanted the A thruster. Well, I wanted the A thrusters, obviously, yeah, but I couldn't decide if they were worth it for the power cost and stuff. And then I messed around with the A sensors a bit as well. Then I thought, well, what kind of shield cell bank do I want, and do I really need the A5 shield generator? Because now you've got shield boosters and stuff. This is what I've sort of decided on right now. Obviously, A's where you're going to have it, i.e. the power plant and your drive and the power distributor. Those are the no-brainers. I did actually decide, okay, I want the shield generator and I want the thrusters. Although the ship is really nimble anyway, and in that regard, you don't really need the A5s. Yeah, I mean, you can use B's or C's or D's even, and you're probably not going to notice much of a difference in terms of how manoeuvrable you are. But you do start to lose quite a bit of top speed out of that. So, I mean, it's very important for a ship like the Vulture, which is not fast, to make sure it's it's not making itself too slow. When those big ships start reversing on you, and you're boosting and you're just not catching up on them fast enough, doesn't matter how manoeuvrable you are. When they've got you in their sights and they're reversing, you need to get behind them in that case, which means you really do need these A5 thrusters. So this was something that I just simply was not prepared to give up. Now, the same thing happened with the shields. Yeah, run the Ds or even the C or a B, but then you think, why gimp yourself like that? Yes, these use a lot of power. The only thing I'm not sure about is, would an A5 shield generator and this shield booster, which is an EO, or an E, which is all I can afford in the power budget, as soon as you hit 17.10, you're done basically. Is it worth going with some more of these shield boosters? Maybe an A class booster? And if you look at the boosters, they're pretty... I mean, 1.2 power draw as well is a lot, compared to only 0.2 for the E. Yeah, okay, so you get 5 times more, but... yeah, I mean, you're paying 6 times more in terms of power to get 5 times more of a shield multiplier. So these are all things I'm just not entirely sure about yet. I've gone with a kill warrant scanner because, as you know, resource sites are really paying out very well now for bounty hunters. Obviously taking the chaff launcher as well. Right, but back here. Yeah, this also let me get an A4 shield cell bank. Again, you can start to think, well, maybe the B4 shield cell bank, or even a C4. So we'll have a look and see how well this A4 fills the shields. If it's really filling them up, then you maybe think you can drop down to a B4, save a bit more in terms of power, and then maybe stick on even another one of these shield boosters. So that makes you think, well, is that going to be better for, even better having, the base better shields instead of having the better recharge? Fuel scoop an A2, this is not great by the way, but in a combat ship, you're going to want your shields here and you're going to want your shield cell bank here. Otherwise, you're gimping yourself a lot. I really wish this was a class 3, because this fuel scoop is really not fast at all, even for the A. Right, so what else? As usual, D3 life support and D4 sensors. Now, like I said, I did actually try out the A4 sensors because I'm using gimbaled weapons, and I keep on hearing this same thing. Because of this, right, standard suite providing basic detection, identification and targeting capabilities, and people have been saying right from the start, sensors affect your gimbal targeting and your turret targeting. Well, this is something I've been wondering about for a very long time, and finally we got the answer for it. Right, now hopefully you should be able to see this. What Mike Evans, the lead designer of Elite, wrote. Somebody asked him, can you also clarify why the sensor size rating affect gimbal weapons accuracy and behaviour? Right, and it's pretty clear. All sensors do is resolve contacts on your sensor. There is no link between them and weapon tracking at all. The only effect sensors play is to allow you to target the contact in the first place, so tracking weapons can track. Right, so basically that means stick with the D4 sensors. Don't have the A4 here, but you can compare it to like the B4. point 0.2, I think it's 0.7 something, 0.72 for the A, so you're talking an extra 0.4 megawatts of power. It's too much for something like sensors. Yes, it's nice to have the extra range, but on a ship like this, you can't afford it. You just can't afford the power for it, so the Ds are the only thing that makes sense as far as I'm concerned. I guess that's pretty much it for outfitting this. Yeah, I'm going with the Advanced Discovery Scanner because I just actually quite like to have it. You know, jump into a system. The money just ticks over and over and over when you're flying around places. You get a couple of 100,000 here and there just from scanning systems you haven't been to before. So this is worth it, I think. Only the D1 interdictor. I'm not really bothered about it. It's just something I may do if I see a good bounty out there on an NPC or something. Yep, so really we're just looking at weapons now. You've got two options, which is one of the sad things about the Vulture. I really miss the cannon. I love the playstyle of the cannon, that get in close and fire. But as you'll see, these E3 gimbaled pulse lasers on the large hardpoint, they just do away with the need for any other weapon as far as I'm concerned. People say, yeah, you can go with beams. Now let's have a look at the beams. Yeah, here would be a C3. But look at the power draw. Almost double the power draw. And then you've got all the thermal load to deal with. I just don't think it's worth it. It's got less armour penetration as well, which is something that is really important. You notice on these pulse lasers, when you start hitting subsystems like power plants, they just crumble under two of these. So I'm going to head into the resource site and hopefully you'll see what I mean with all this. Right, so off we go. Now, a couple of things I need to mention. As you can see, I'm using the mouse again. Whoops. Now, I know what I said, yeah, about never going back to the mouse. That's just typical of me to say such a thing. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. So if you bear with me while I figure this out. I think I better come to a full stop before I do anything. Right. Yeah, basically speaking, I was using a joystick curves program. If you haven't been following my hardware videos, I've been using a joystick curves program which was starting to help me with the accuracy on the HOTAS, but unfortunately it interferes with my mic and gives me horrible sounds. Now, that's mouse sensitivity, it needs to come way down. And what's that doing? Why is the dead zone there? This is bizarre. Power curve should be about there. So yeah, basically speaking, I've been forced into it and I'm missing it already. But obviously, when you're making videos for YouTube, the last thing you can afford to have is really annoying audio issues. Which brings me to the next point, actually. I've got a different pop filter, and I sort of noticed that while looking over some of these new videos that you can hear the P's and the B's. It's not actually a filter because the filter was pretty big. And another reason for why the HOTAS had to go was the lack of space. Yeah, maybe a lot of people don't realise it, but I'm sitting at a desk here, and it's, you know, I've got the mic right in front of my face basically, and if you've got like a joystick sitting right next to you, you know, I've got a boom stand as well for the mic. And my arm's underneath this boom stand. It's not the most comfortable, you know, environment for actually gaming when it comes down to it. So I got myself this a windbreaker, but it's not as good quality wise as the pop filter. So you're probably going to hear things that are not quite so good. If it starts to annoy people, or starts to annoy me, then I'll just go back to the pop filter, and I'll try and figure out a better way of doing that. And the last thing I'm going to be using this video for, and this resource action thing, is once again, not just getting used to the mouse again, but the good thing about having the HOTAS is it made me realise how much I had to improve a lot of my bindings on the mouse, you know, using shift modifiers and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to be doing. More targeting, less laziness. Because those are the areas that I need to improve on. Now, one other thing that I started missing a lot with the HOTAS was the head look. It's just never going to be as good as the mouse because, you know, it's analog on the mouse. And I'd basically stopped using it. And I thought, well, okay, I'll get head tracking anyway. But going back to what I was saying about, you know, all this stuff in front of me, like having this big mic in my face and you know, the joystick was sitting right in front of me as well. Actual head tracking software wouldn't work all that great, or some of it wouldn't work all that great. So I would probably have to get a wired solution if I wanted to use that. These are all things that I hadn't really thought about until, you know, I started getting really serious about what, you know, thinking I want to start buying hardware now for Elite. Right, what's going on with those wakes? That looks like a bit of a graphical glitch. So my keybind's not quite working now either. Right, so this should be interesting. It really is so weird how quickly you lose it. I don't feel confident or anything. Alright, this looks like a... Oh, he's clean. Aha, could be this anaconda then. Good stuff, this is what we want. Anacondas who are wanted. Right, now. Kill warrant scanner. Why is it saying I'm out of range? Did they change something about that? Right, so how do I change? Power plant. Here we go. Now, as you can see, these pulse lasers just fire forever. Look at the damage you do at the power plant close in. Federal dropship, I know for a fact that you're going to be wanted. Pretty unbelievable, isn't it?
Target destroyed.
So I'm pretty sure I started off clean. Yes, we'll see just how quickly you can make money doing this now. I know that this clipper's gonna be a baddie.
Shields online.
Don't forget to get through these.
Target shields offline. Under attack. Scan detected.
Whoa. Right, now what was going on there?
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
Right, so by the looks of things, judging by how much money we're getting now, the payouts have been pretty considerably nerfed as well, yeah? Because it should be getting away more than this. I was getting like 220,000. So, I mean, it's good to see in all honesty because it was just a little bit silly, I think.
Target shields offline.
A little bit overly aggressive. I'm not quite getting the mouse right yet, but I'm getting there. It's interesting just how much control I feel like I've got, how much more now that I'm back on it though. Getting some pretty smart action, that's for sure. You see how good the shields are now on the Vulture as well? It's just an absolute beast of a ship.
Under attack. Target destroyed.
I get some pips into my shields, I think.
Target shields offline.
Sidewinder, pretty good armour on him, that's for sure. Oh, it's a Cobra, sorry, yeah. No wonder I was thinking it was taking a while to kill. A Python, these are normally pretty good for some action.
Target shields online. Target shields offline.
Oh no, I didn't even notice. I need to pay a little bit more attention to the actual hull percentages, yeah.
Under attack. Target shields.
I wonder if they've actually nerfed this a little bit, the Vulture, because I was doing a lot more damage to these before. Maybe these pulse lasers have been nerfed somewhat. They still do an awful lot of damage close in, yeah. But this is where I should be firing a cannon and finishing these things off, I feel.
Destroyed.
Far more satisfying. Federal dropship.
Under attack.
Right, now, I'm starting to notice a little issue though with this right mouse button. And me having the scroll wheel. I can't,
Target destroyed.
when I'm trying to scan them, kill warrant scan them. They're actually dying so fast it's hard to get them. Yeah, scanning them while also trying to thrust forward and backward. Oh, sorry, using my throttle. It's not quite so easy on the mouse. That guy's been bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Target destroyed.
Even Adder's at 12,000 almost, and that was him not even scanned. That's quite a lot. Federal dropship. Really, these guys should all be having shields. Why are these guys flying around shieldless? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Yeah, again, I'm kind of messing up the kill warrant scanner. Look, he's taking almost no damage from them, yeah? As soon as I hit him, he takes a point. And that's at long range. You're way too late for that, sunshine.
Target destroyed.
Right, I've got a clipper. Again, these guys mostly harmless. Why is this happening? Whoa! I think I've discovered that I'm lacking a keybind. My up and down thrusters do not appear to be set. Yeah, up and down should be W and S. Quite scary that I've killed about 7 or 8 ships now and I didn't even have my thrusters. I just sort of realised something was missing there. Oh, I'm gonna... get a shot in at him. And this is another thing, you know.
Target destroyed.
35,000 for a couple of shots. There's another clipper. Yeah, that's more like it, now that I've got working thrusters.
Target destroyed.
So yeah, I mean, there's been some talk of the game being dumbed down, especially when it was announced that it was going to be coming out on the Xbox. Yeah, it probably is being dumbed down, I think. But at the start of games, you always find it's more difficult, you know, to make money and stuff like that. So that just basically so that the early adopters don't, you know, run away. But that sort of happened anyway. They made a mistake with trading right at the start. Trading should have been giving about half the profits it was, because people are just willing to, you know, grind those. There are a certain type of person will simply do that, and I mean, I would have done it at one point. Yeah, some people do it, and you know, people are flying around in pythons and anacondas just a little bit too fast. But that damage has already been done, yeah? So I guess now, really, what they're saying is, we're giving people a chance to catch up. And that's the whole point of this now. This is why you get yourself 20 million for a Vulture. But yeah, as I was saying, yes, the game has almost certainly been dumbed down. And this is the sort of proof of it. These things, when you're blowing away anacondas and pythons with help, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, you're getting help to do it. And it's just making the money making so much easier. Somebody in the forum actually had a good comment to make about it. You know, people complained a lot about traders making so much money compared to bounty hunters and stuff like that.
Target shields offline.
This guy's going to be a target. Yeah, the comment was made like, well, you know, should bounty hunters who refuse to trade, basically people like me, I haven't really refused to trade, but I really do my best to avoid it. I mean, should we be getting paid so much for doing stuff like this, is a question. Or should trading have been nerfed? Frontier doesn't really strike me as being in complete control of their game balancing issues, in all honesty, which is slightly disappointing. Sometimes I wonder if they just give up and just say, right, just let's give everybody what they want, stop the complaining. That's not good. I'm using a shield cell for some reason. So that's a keybind I need to fix. Python. Now sometimes these pythons are the good guys as well. But this one's not. Yeah, not super keen on this kill warrant scanner on my right button like this, but I don't really see any other way to do it. These pythons are worth a lot. I've got a python and a clipper. Yeah, this guy's clean. This clipper won't be though. This could just be a me v him one then.
Target shields offline. Under attack.
This guy's not flying too great for an expert, is he? It's a little bit point and click, yeah. It's just doing so much damage.
Frameshift charge detected.
Come back.
Target destroyed. Target shields online.
Pinky the Terrible. I know I've killed you many times over. But probably never easier than that.
Target destroyed.
Right, a clipper. That could be a me v him, this one. Whoa. Yeah, I'm using up shield cells because of a keybind, so I need to be wary of that. It's not so good.
Under attack. Target shields offline.
Yeah, those multi-cannons may have been good had I not had shields. I don't know why they give the AI those. I mean, just give them pulse lasers the same as we've got. Ready to die, Clipper.
Target destroyed.
Oh, we've got another one. If I had head tracking, these things would be much smarter, yeah, so I think maybe head tracking something I'm going to look at getting within the next month or so. Like I said, it's going to have to be a wired solution, I think. How quickly did that die there?
Target destroyed.
Whoa. Wouldn't like to lose $1 million because of that. I feel like I'm starting to get back into it now. This is why I'm able to fly that little bit closer. I'm still not set up perfectly in the mouse. I'm picking it up too much as opposed to just scrolling. So I need to fix the sensitivity. But I'm pretty okay with how things are going so far. Python. So fast, yeah. Get that target. Get that power plant targeted.
Target destroyed. Target shields offline.
Might as well have paper for armour. I mean, this is the issue, yeah. Why do pulse lasers have such good armour penetration? Shouldn't that be things for cannons, yeah? Use lasers to get shields down. Use cannons and stuff to blow the way hull and modules? I mean, that would make sense to me, yeah? I thought, was that not the original plan? That's not the way the game is supposed to be. You do such awesome damage to the hull anyway, in all honesty. Oh, how smart was that? Whoops. That was almost a mistake.
Target shields offline. Under attack. Target shields
Whoa.
offline.
Yikes.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
There's got to be a python up here or something. Yep.
Target destroyed.
So what do you think? I mean, is this just too easy, yeah? Or, I mean, it's still sort of enjoyable, yeah? Because obviously blowing ships away is quite fun, but is it just too easy? Are we looking at maybe a combination of the Vulture being just a little bit too good, or...
Target shields offline. Under attack.
Once again, I use a shield cell when I don't have to. That was just a key binding error by me there though. Uh-oh.
Target shields online. Target shields offline. Under attack.
I thought I'd finished off that dropship when I rammed it, but obviously not.
Target shields online. Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
Now, one thing I didn't mention, maybe that E0 or that E0 shield booster's not worth it. Yeah, it's 4% extra shields, but don't forget it also affects your recharge rate after they go down. So, I mean, I had obviously forgotten that. So, again, that's a case of, is it worth 4%? Right, last one I think, unless more appear. Oh no, this is a good guy. Anaconda. It's been a while since I saw one of these.
Target destroyed.
Yeah. Right, so I guess that has been about 1 hour of me getting back into using the mouse, flying around the resource site, looking for large targets. It's been so easy. At no point was I under any pressure. Here's another anaconda, so I'm just going to finish this one off. Again, mostly harmless. No shields. Why? I mean, why no shields? Get yourself a vulture. Even a viper, good enough in all honesty.
Under attack.
Yeah, you notice that certainly close in. You do need to be a pretty close flyer, yeah, to get those power plants. Especially the gimbaled weapons. But, you know, if you can fly like that, then I think you're better off with the gimbals. Yep. So like I was saying, started off with a clean slate, and in about 1 hour, that's what, 110, say 1.5, yeah, about 1.5 million done in an hour. Right, time to head back for now. Pretty interesting looking station with the struts and the colour. I haven't seen one like this.
Landing gear deployed. Docking
Right. 3,800. I'm going to have to fix that keybind for my shield cell because I was using it when I didn't intend to. And into contacts, what have I got? 1.28. And I made 1.46. Yeah, 1 hour, that's a lot of money. I mean, it's pretty bizarre, yeah, because we kind of look forward to it, but then you start to wonder, are we now being spoiled? I mean, when I first got the Vulture, I played it constantly on the joystick, and I made a lot of money. Basically, so I could upgrade it the way I had. I did res sight after res sight, and it was like, yeah, this is great. But then I thought, what is my aim now in this game? Is my aim now to grind res sights so I get a bigger ship? It's like now that it's viable as a grinding method, you sort of start grinding it, which is not really what you want to do. I mean, I don't want to complain too much about it. I've had so much enjoyment out of the game, yeah, and I really don't want to rag on it, but we still need more things added to it. Never stop complaining to them, because then they'll get lazy and they think that they've arrived. They don't need to do any more. So, I mean, I'm going to continue supporting the game, but yeah, I'm going to be critical of it as well. That's just the way I am. But yep, that's a pretty fun hour. I've got another 160,000 in Federation and Empire. Not an awful lot, in all honesty. I would have expected a bit more than that, considering what I killed. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in the next video. Like I said, I'm looking for the mouse, so that may be a little bit more learning, but I'm not going to be hanging back. So hopefully, see you in the next one.